What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Fantasy Tomorrow. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite waiver wire ads and streamers for Week 18. So this is the last waiver wire ads and streamers video of the season, but thank you guys so much for joining us through all of these different videos. But let's go ahead and just jump right into it. First off, let's start out by just mentioning that there are a couple of teams that could sit their starters this week, and it's definitely something we want to be aware of. The Packers, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Bengals, and Eagles could all sit their starters because they've already clinched and are pretty set in their playoff spots and their seeds. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I doubt all of them will sit their starters, but you never know. Just something to be kind of aware of. But let's go ahead and move into my top 5 waiver wire pickups. My number 1 guy for this week is Boston Scott, running back for the Eagles. Scott had a huge week in Week 17 and could do well again if the Eagles hold out Sanders for another week, which is likely with them already clinching a playoff spot. My number 2 guy is Vaughn, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ronald Jones got banged up in Week 17 and could be held out with the Buccaneers playoff spot pretty well locked up. Vaughn led the Bucs in carries after Jones left and should see more of the same in a good matchup against the Panthers. My number 3 guy is Braxton Berrios, wide receiver for the Jets. Berrios has been an explosive weapon for the Jets the past few weeks and should continue to see plenty of opportunities this week against the Bills. My number 4 guy is Rhamondre Stevenson, running back for the Patriots. Damian Harris got a little banged up in Week 17, and while Harris will likely come back and play, having Stevenson is a good safety net, and even if Harris does play, Stevenson could be a good flex play since he is playing for what is one of the most run-heavy teams in the league. And finally, my number 5 guy is KJ Osborn, wide receiver for the Vikings. Osborn was the lone Viking who wasn't a total disappointment in Week 17 when the Vikings were without starting quarterback Kirk Cousins. Osborn should be able to produce this week as well, as he will continue to see an uptick in targets due to Adam Thielen's absence from his injury. Now let's go ahead and move into my favorite quarterback, tight end, and defensive streamers for this week. So we're going to do 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, and 2 defenses. First off, the quarterback that I like for this week is Taylor Heinicke, quarterback for the Washington football team. Now Heinicke hasn't been great in recent weeks, but he has produced in the past and has what might be the best matchup of the week against the fumbling Giants, who seem to be just giving up on their season. If you have made it this far and are somehow extremely desperate for a quarterback, Heinicke is probably your best bet. My favorite tight end for this week is Tyler Conklin of the Minnesota Vikings. Conklin saw 9 targets last week, and while that number will likely come down with Kirk Cousins coming back, Conklin should still provide some consistency as a streaming tight end. Now, moving into my favorite defense for this week, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs defense really, they suffered a rough outing against the Bengals last week, but they should have no problem rebounding against a Broncos team that's likely going to be led by the turnover-happy Drew Lock. The Chiefs are still getting pressure on the quarterback and should have no problem creating some turnovers. And another good defensive option for you is the Tennessee Titans. The Titans defense continues to be very underrated and should be able to hold down Davis Mills and the Texans this week, while continuing to get pressure on the quarterback with their great defensive line. I really like them as someone you can play. Alright guys, here's a review of all of my favorite waiver wire ads and streamers for this week. I definitely think you should download this or print it out and use it as a reference for setting your lineups and making your waiver claims for this week. But guys, thank you so much for watching this season. It's been so much fun being able to talk with you guys, and please subscribe, drop us a like and a comment, and check out our Twitter and our Facebook. And also, go check out our other channel, Pretty Smart Sports. We're talking about all sorts of different sports stuff. But again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.